Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bat Friends Beyond podcast, episode number 137. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside the world champion, Joe. How we doing, Joe?
Man, I took like 6 months off of my podcast, and we're still way ahead of you. And you started first.
We're every other week now, so...
I guess. I don't know. I just listen to it when it pops up. Like, oh, hey, look, an episode used to come out on Thursday. Now it comes out on Saturday. Hey, who knew?
I just make decisions.
Barely.
Decisions have to get made.
I guess. Orange Piccolo. If he had called himself Special Orange Piccolo, it would have been perfect. Well, because see, okay, so spoilers for Dragon Ball Super, which by the time this comes out was like 6 months ago. Because you never watched Super. The thing that they did in Super to kind of like open that up is the whole Ultra Instinct thing. That's why I asked if it was Ultra Instinct. Mm-hmm. Because what they established is that like while Saiyans, at least in their universe, Saiyans would reach that level more easily. Like anyone can achieve Ultra Instinct, so that's where like anyone can be super powered again.
Okay.
And I guess they kind of teased that with Golden Frieza too, but it was just the idea of basically it doesn't have to always be Goku. Like that's really what they were going for, even though at the end of the day, Goku goes Ultra Instinct, but it doesn't always have to be Goku. So that's why I said like it could, and it doesn't like and then they get into it a lot, but it's the whole thing too of like, because it's just like fucking Super Saiyan God Red and shit, where it's like, okay, so this is just Piccolo's fucking power up. That's why it would be funny if it was Special Orange Piccolo.
Well, in this one, Gohan has silver hair.
Oh, so you went Ultra Instinct. That's Ultra Instinct.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fucked up. I don't know how we got to there. Because that's like... He has the true power of like a multiversal god at that point. So here's what Ultra Instinct is for all you people that I'm sure tuned into the Batman podcast being like, I want to learn about Dragon Ball Z. Yes. Ultra Instinct is when your body reacts before you, like you are pure motion. So that's why it's Ultra Instinct. You don't have to think about fighting anymore. You just naturally move, and that's why mortals typically don't achieve it, and it's hard for mortals to achieve. Because we're fucking skeleton mechs in a meat suit being piloted.
Okay.
But that's why it's funny that a Saiyan achieved it too, because Saiyans are like, rawr!
That's what happened. He went raw and his hair turned silver.
So Gohan has achieved Ultra Instinct. Oh, apparently. That's good to know.
Which was
why.
So that might have been mentioned, but like
you were just like, colors.
I'm just like, yeah, Orange Piccolo. Ooh.
So does he like...
But he's literally
does he glow orange, or does his skin literally turn orange?
His skin literally turns orange.
So what about like the pink parts? Are they still just pink?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to get a visual. I mean, I could just go on fucking YouTube.
We could probably just Google it, yeah.
No, I go on YouTube and watch the whole movie right now. Because I told you that's how I watched the Broly movie, right? I was just scrolling through Facebook and someone's like, Dragon Ball Super Broly! And I'm like, okay. And then it's the whole fucking movie just streaming on Facebook. And I'm like, and it's fucking dubbed. I'm like, alright, cool. This is what's happening, I guess.
What's the other thing? I didn't see Broly. And then, like, Broly... So, Goku, Vegeta, and Broly show up in this movie for, like, 5 minutes.
Sure.
Because they're, of course, on another planet training or some shit.
Yeah. Well, because... Okay, so in the Broly movie, to save Broly, because Frieza's still around, I think. Yes, because it's after Frieza... It's at the end of Super Frieza gets resurrected. They fake Broly's death. Because that first Frieza tries to use him... Or somebody... No, not even Frieza. It's the fucking... it's the underling. Frieza's still dead. Whatever. It's the Frieza army. They try to use Broly against... So rather than it being the whole thing that Kakarot was crying when he was a baby and it drove him fucking crazy, it was just... He was just super powerful and had the control collar. And so Frieza's army tried to use him against Goku. They fake Broly's death because no one would ever leave him alone. So then he's on some other planet in a cave, and Goku pops up, and they're like, oh no, he's here to kill him. Goku's like, no, I just want to train. I just want to say, is it cool to train? I'll leave. You can eat. That's cool. But then we can train later. And like, yeah, we'll do that. Cool. So that's why they're on another planet training. Because Broly has to hide from the world.
Yeah, the gods were there too. The purple dude.
Beerus.
Yeah.
And the angel. Whis is an angel. Whis is an angel. That's different. Because the subtext they've had that they've never acknowledged, maybe it's in the manga, who knows, no one reads manga. That's factually incorrect. But, is that the angels are maybe technically the ones really in charge, but they let all the gods think they are. Because the angels can stop the gods. The whole thing in Super where it's Beerus and his brother are about to start fighting and like reality starts to break because they're two destroyer gods from different realities about to fuck off. And the angels just go, no! And they stop. But then there's so you've oh honey, you've never, I can't even think of his fucking name. But there's the king god of all the universes. And he's literally a child who's just super, like, he loves Goku, because Goku just goes up to him and he goes, hi, sir, nice to meet you. And Beerus like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, you're fun. You're silly. We can play together. Like, it's ridiculous. And then the reality gets destroyed and they rewind. But it's like Zemo, it's not Zemo, but it's like Zemu or something. It's a Z name. Uh-huh. So they get from the destroyed future reality, because he's the multiversal god, so he can survive anything, I guess. And they grab him, and then Goku pushes a button that he had given him, like, whenever you want to play, let me know. And so then he pops up, and he's like, hey, I got something for you to play with, and it's his future self, but they're both kids. And they're like, this is awesome! Because he has somebody to hang out that's not going to just shit themselves, because he can just go and destroy a universe. And what I love about that character is no one will be able to convince me otherwise, is a troll of the audience. Because when they have the big, like, tournament of the universes to see what's going to survive and what's going to be erased, every time, like, Goku powers up or something, they just cut to the Emperors and be like, this is amazing! This is so awesome! And I'm like, they're just mocking you to your face that, oh boy, his hair turned a different color, yay! And that's why Dragon Ball Super is awesome. Plus, Special Orange Piccolo, which is what I'm going to call him now.
I'll eventually get to it. But yeah, so Broly's there, and I'm just like, this isn't the, like, Broly... I know the Broly I know is, like, not canon.
Yeah.
But, like, this isn't the Broly we knew.
No.
And he's very, like...
He's younger and nice.
He's childish, yeah.
He's younger and nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very strange when he popped up.
Well, because they do a very similar origin, but what is it? I think it's that King Vegeta is like, your kid's gonna, like, somebody tells him a prophecy or some bullshit, who knows? It's like, your son's gonna be stronger than my son, so fuck off. And so they send him off to another planet, and that's where he grows up, and then it's like, I know his dad lives, but they're like on Giant Ant Planet or something, because that's where Broly's powers first manifest. He has to kill his giant ant to protect his dad, and then they eat it. So he's
a lot
more
of protein.
It's true. He's more chill. He didn't want to hurt anybody. Because Kakarot was not crying in his ear.
Alright, after like 10 minutes of Dragon Ball talk.
Dragon, rock the Dragon Ball Z. Wow! Dragon.
Special
Orange
Piccolo. Okay.
Weirdest fucking title for a Batman podcast ever.
Let's go ahead and watch Season 2, Episode 9 of Batman Beyond.
Episode 10.
No.
We watched Rats.
We did not watch Rats.
We did not watch Rats?
We did not.
You sure we didn't watch Rats?
I'm positive we did not watch Rats. We probably should talk about this other time.
I watched 6 episodes. We watched Rats!
Alright, you're all going to listen as I look up to see. We did indeed watch Rats.
Thank you!
So, this isn't getting cut out because I'm lazy. We're going to watch Season 2.
Moral of the story, Joe is right. Listen to Joe.
Move that down to this one. Season 2, Episode 10.
It'd be funnier to name that one Special Orange Pickle. And it has nothing to do with it. And everyone's listening like, what? What? Why is it named it? And then listen to the next episode like, those dirty motherfuckers.
Batman Beyond, titled Mind Games. This episode was written by Alan Burnett and directed by Butch Lukic.
Spoiler alert, this also means Chris only watched 4 episodes for today.
That is correct. So I didn't move the last episode to my other computer, so I thought we were out of episodes, but apparently I had one in this one. Joe is so stunned he can't make fun of the intro. That's how stunned he is, everybody.
It's true. I just love which is like, we watched Rats. I made jokes about that fucking episode.
I don't have more jokes about it.
I would just be retreading. And like the worst, because I think we did it once where we re-recorded the same episode and I got annoyed.
That's my favorite episode because you're so mad the whole time.
We already talked about this.
Because I think it was also New Batman Adventures that happened in.
Yeah,
so you're even more mad that we had to rewatch an episode.
No, it was fucking garbage. That's why I make sure to mark in my notes when we record. So I'm like, no, we talked about this.
Apparently last time I didn't, because I was for a while putting little X's next to it, which I'm going to do right here.
Whooshing. Whooshing. So I have a note here. Oh yeah, these bitches. With Wednesday Addams. I forgot about this fucking garbage episode. Oh yeah, this is funny to me. Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush, Clinton. Yeah, what's the next? Come on, Clinton was the fun one, which is also hilarious to me. Then came the boring one. Not accurate. W was not boring, sir.
When was this?
This would have been before the election, I'm sure. Like the production of it.
If this was before the election, they probably were assuming it was Gore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which would have been correct.
No, because other stuff would have probably... Like, stuff would have happened. Like, to his point of they're all the boring one, like, none of them are the boring one. Something always happens.
Yeah. Something happens. The person themselves, like... Because Bush was hilarious because he just said things wrong all the time.
And
in the same way,
tried to choke on a pretzel.
In the same way that I find Biden hilarious when he gaffes, because it's the same thing, like, in a different way, but...
We're fine, thank you for your help. We can take it from here.
We're just going to abduct this child.
Yeah, it's all fucking weird. So my first note, I don't know when it's going to come up, because whatever. It becomes much more true in the next few episodes after this. Stop trying to make Shui happen. It makes me angry. It makes me so angry.
I'm going to need you to just internalize that now, because it's not going to stop.
I know, but I'm going to point it out every time. Okay, so I can't remember if it's here or not, but it's one of my favorite things. So he's got this crazy Wednesday Addams bitch in his fucking head, being like, come help me, because they're stealing me and I don't want to be with them. Yeah, it is here. So she comes back in, and I think she starts whispering. No. Terry starts whispering because of the teacher, and then she starts whispering, and I'm like, why are you whispering? It's just one of my favorite things when people just... And you can do it. You can do it in normal conversation, and watch. People will do it. If you just start talking softer and whispering, they'll naturally start to whisper back.
Yep.
Just like, why are you whispering? I don't want to go. I refuse to go. And he's just like, God, bitch, I don't want to take this exam, but I have to because I'm underage. Like a broken disc. Because it's the future. And then Bruce just like, I don't fucking care. She's here right now, isn't she?
Can you see her?
That skirt's really inappropriate for a girl her age.
Ace is very angry right now.
Yeah, he's like, fucking brain people.
I still have not gone to see League of Super Pets, now that I think about it.
Neither way. It'll be on HBO Max. Or it won't, because HBO Max will cease to exist.
In which case, we'll have to find a new way to watch these shows.
Right? GPT.
Where am
Good
I?
pussy there.
I think he's gonna rape that little girl. I'm pretty sure that's what's about to happen.
I mean, look at that haircut. I'm sure he would. Daddy's mad. That's a weird thing to say.
That is GTP. What does that mean?
Gotham Park Towers. I used to own that building. Remember when they used to talk about Bruce being rich, and then the one guy got drowned in a sub, and just everyone stopped caring? That's the motherfucker from the Mental Institute. Not her. He's on the bench. The one that Terry finds, it's like floating, and then fucking attacks him with his psychic powers. Fat guy?
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, there he is right there. You can tell how much I paid attention the first time I watched this. I didn't even fucking realize that.
So, when I'm watching this originally,
Yeah.
I see... Listen, this is a little bit racist of me. I see someone that pale walking around with that cane.
Yeah.
They're up to no good.
Well, obviously. And that fat?
No, fat's fine.
No, fat's fine.
There's no bad fat people.
He doesn't do that enough. Like, you have fingertips that can just hear shit. Use that more. It's very useful, Terry.
It's a lot of very useful powers. In
Camouflage, which, you know, would be very useful right now when you're breaking and entering. Just
somebody did some acid.
Just mind fucking him right there.
No, wait, not acid. DMT.
DMT, that's true.
This guy's destroying his own house.
Well, I mean, it's a rental. It's Gotham Park Towers. It's a rental.
Maybe you could buy a hotel or a
Penthouse.
apartment.
Nah, these motherfuckers rent.
Look at that haircut.
Exactly. Fred,
I don't like the way he runs.
Motherfucker.
He did the move.
He did the move. He did the move. He did the guy. He did the other move. Fucking head first.
Jesus Christ! I don't remember that part.
I remember this part. And then just be like, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. He just walks away.
Can you imagine being that guy standing there like, what the fuck just happened?
Did my DMT just kick in?
I don't like that Bruce
You
has a
don't have
database of underage children.
They're all potential wards.
That's the story that DC's too afraid to tell.
It's true.
Batman's the true Epstein.
Jesus. I was gonna say that he has a fucking camp where all these have to like fight club their way out to earn the honor of being a fucking ward. And you went right to fucking child rape. Jesus.
Yours is good too.
Yours is good too. I guess it's okay. Look at that asshole. That's a fucking asshole outfit. You're an asshole, Dad. Yeah, with your fucking baseball bat.
What's with everyone in the future having reverse Hitler mustaches?
Well, you know, after the Third World War.
No, it's been long enough. It probably came back at some point. Listen, it's gonna come back soon. You can be walking down the street and be like, that dude's got a Hitler mustache.
I mean, ethically, it already has. There's plenty of people who love them some Hitler. Look, it's off-brand Teletubby. Like, listen, we're having a lot of fun here because, you know, Chris loves child rape, apparently. But this is a heart-wrenching story of, like, our kid is fucked up and has powers. This really is an indictment of the X-Men. But it's like, we wanted to help her, so we sent her to a school, and then we found out the school was just a front. The Academy of Arts and... Like, this is an indictment of the X-Men.
It also, since I just recently finished it, it has some Stranger Things vibes, except...
See, I haven't watched season 3 or 4. I only watched season 1 and 2.
Okay, I won't spoil it then. Because I think it's in season 3.
I appreciate that. That's probably the next thing, because I just finished Sandman, including the bonus episode.
Yeah, watch that.
So, that's probably the next thing I'm going to go to. Because I was like, I don't really... Like, I have things that are coming out. Archer just came back. Again, this is all out of time. I don't know why I'm saying this, but... Because you're listening. Archer just came back. What We Do in the Shadows is almost over already. Mm-hmm. But it's been so good this season.
Have you checked out She-Hulk yet?
Yeah, so I've watched the first 2.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's releasing weekly, so that's where it's like, you know, I'll watch it as it goes. This was crazy. Like, it's one of those things where...
He's going Super Saiyan.
It's true. He's going Special Orange Piccolo. Like Batman, the cartoon originally, it didn't go heavy into the magic. Like, the most you got was Roz. And, like... I'm not talking about New Adventures, I'm just talking about the original.
Well, Zatanna.
But she was New Adventures.
No.
She was New Adventures.
I'm pretty sure she was.
She was New Adventures. So anyway. And like you got some of Scarecrow who's the mind fuckery.
Yeah, but that's even science.
Right.
Yeah.
But like all of a sudden here we get to the future where there's just crazy science and here's this motherfucker floating in air making mental illusions and, you know, telekinesis, Kyle. Like, I don't know. Part of why this episode feels weird is because it feels so un-Batman.
Okay.
Like, even in the comics, Batman doesn't fight magic a lot. Like, there is crossover, but it's not like Batman fights supernatural threats all the time.
Yeah. Well, it's also tough because they're trying not to redo all the villains, you know? Like, there's some, like, the Joker's obviously a thing.
Right. But it's also where, like, Spellbinder, because he's coming back, and I hate it every time he comes back. He's just Scarecrow. Like, a lot of them are still also...
Yeah, it's hard not to, but...
They are just the same villains. Like, I would have... Like, at least Atomic Skull there... I never remember his name, because I don't care. At least he was different. He was something else. Ink was... fucking Clayface. I'm trying to think now. My favorite villain's coming up. I don't know if it's going to be... If you watched it or not. But it's hilarious to me. When I realized, I'm like, this is just... what this villain was. Now I'm trying to think, what else? Oh, there was the dead guy in the earth. That was weird. That was different.
Oh, that was, yeah. I think it's funny that we get a guy fucks a robot episode later.
That's the villain I was talking about.
Okay, yeah.
That's hilarious to me. We're not going to go deep, but that's hilarious to me. Okay, so we're not going to have to deal with Spellbinder. Good, because you didn't watch it. Good, I can put that off a little more. Fucking bullshit.
Terry's little brother has an action figure that's a smiley face in a suit.
Yep, that's correct.
Apparently a really big Watchmen fan.
Oh, this
it's
fucking
also
bitch.
The future, and they don't have earbuds yet. They still have the full...
Oh, obviously. She's just hanging out, just asking for it. Wearing her fucking panties. Look at that.
They're about to have phone sex. Terry's about to fuck that little
I
doll.
still have not watched that movie. Her. It's the movie where you can have
what
phone
movie?
sex with... That's what I was going to say. It's the movie where you can have phone sex with Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
I
didn't know this was a thing.
Her, which I think is still on Netflix, it was for a long time, that's where I was going to watch it, is Joaquin Phoenix basically falls in love with Siri, essentially.
Okay.
Siri, and like the Siri, fill-in, is voiced by Scarlett Johansson. At one point, because obviously Siri doesn't have a body, they have phone sex. Which means... anyone can have phone sex with Scarlett Johansson. Because her part doesn't have to change. And I just think it's funny, because that was one of those movies that was like, oh yeah, it's the whole social media futurism movie, and I just refer to it as the movie where you can have phone sex with Scarlett Johansson.
That's the proper way to talk about it.
And that's something that has to have entered into her mind at one point. She knew what the script was. And she just has to realize that there are at least thousands of men and women just fucking jerking off, imagining she's having phone sex with them.
Well, I think as soon as she put on that Black Widow suit, she was well aware of what was going
on. No, it's different. She knows people looking at her. That's part of the game. Knowing that people can fully have phone sex with you.
Uses both at the same time in this one.
Finally. You're a gifted girl, just like me. Bitch, you old! You ain't a girl no more. I love this. The 10% of their brains. That's not actually scientifically true. We actually regularly use more than 10% of our brains.
Yeah, more like 11, 12.
Maybe you. She uses her powers at some point, doesn't she? I'm trying to remember now.
Fight Batman at the end, I believe.
Okay, because so far she's the only one. Oh yeah, that's right. There we go. We see that at least. And then she walks all weird with her fucking squared off shoulders. All this talk about special orange Piccolo makes me want to get Chinese food. At first it didn't, and now it really does.
I can go for Chinese.
I haven't had Chinese in a while. Really be cool if my neighbors would shut the fuck up. They call her Bombshell, which I also find interesting because there's a Marvel character named Bombshell.
Yeah.
From the Ultimates verse.
Currently in 616.
Yeah.
Because Miles is
crackle.
that.
Crackle. Crackle, baby. Crackle.
Kirby does.
Goddamn Kirby dots. Fucking Korean animators. So her power is the power of jazz.
She's literally Bombshell. So I'm pretty sure that's how Bombshell's power works too.
She just...
What you find out later on is that's the daughter of the jazz man.
Oh, yeah. She's ready for a starring role, West Side Story. Just...
Of course, there's nothing like a direct
fucking
hit.
Snaps. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, this is funny. Because it's such what a little girl would do. It's like, here's my giant doll. And then she's like, oh, God, as if she didn't know the little girl had mind powers.
And it's all saved by a lifesaver. And she's dead.
That bitch is dead. That's the true hand is twitching. She's dead.
That's fucked up.
Really, get a longer skirt. He's not wearing a shirt now. This is all getting very inappropriate.
I tried telling you what was happening at the beginning. But no, you want to make jokes.
Yes, I would prefer to make jokes. You are correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah, poor Terry tried to use his boot rockets. And this motherfucker's like, no, fuck your boot rockets. I'm gonna fuck you in the mouth. And then she goes all Akira here.
Hulk's out.
Mind bullets! Oh yeah, then he's blind. I can't see. That's fucked up. He's blind. I know he's an asshole, but you just blinded a man for life.
He had it coming. That's funny. It's funny when blind people trip on things.
Daredevil is blind jokes will never stop being funny to me. What did I do to deserve this? Oh, except for everything in my life. Oh, look, it's the consequences of my own actions. Ghost Girl ends up saving your butt. Damn, that shit is whack.
I call it a mutual butt saving. And now I can go back to high school, where nothing will happen ever again.
They got doctors to help her with her powers, because that's hilarious. I'm sorry, that is hilarious, and I love it. It's fine. But they got doctors to help with their powers, because, people with fucking mind powers just happen all the time in the future.
Doctors are experts, so that's obviously where you go.
The Invulnerable Man. That was his official credit. The Invulnerable Man. Fucking Blondie. There we go. Nope, I want to pause it. There you go. Then we can just listen to my neighbor's music, because that's what you want.
If the Invulnerable Man was made in HeroClix, he would have to have invulnerability, right?
Clearly.
Yeah.
Which is ironic, because it's one of the worst reducer powers. Like, he'd be better off with invincible. But he's not invincible. He's invulnerable.
That would be even funnier if he was the Invulnerable Man. They didn't give him vulnerability.
I mean, it's HeroClix. That's probably what would happen. He'd have impervious. Like, okay. It's just...
Alright, speaking of being impervious, Joe, where can people find you on the internet?
JoePank.com, JoePanc.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Cthulhu Holmes or Joe Pank. Both will get you there. You can follow me on Instagram at JoePank36, where I'm doing my first roll of the day. Just recently somebody asked, are you playing D&D? No, it's the first roll of the day. It's literally what it says. It's the first roll of the day. I roll a D20, and that's the result. Don't overcomplicate it. You can also go to enjoyyourfrozendick.com for all the super cool Bat Friends merch. Any young girl that's on there will have an appropriate length skirt. That's the Joe Pank promise. And probably by the time this comes out, if you want to support my other podcast that no longer exists, well, it does exist, it's just not doing new episodes. You can go to patreon.com/JoePank. Give us as little as $2 a month and hear all that was Joe Meets World.
You can find me at Fortress Chris on Twitter or at FortressComicNews.com. If you want to support me further, it's patreon.com/FortressComics. Also, remember everybody to give us the reviews on the podcatcher of your choice. Like, subscribe, share, comment down below in the YouTube version, and subscribe to the channel, because that's a thing people should do. Thank you all so much for listening this week. We'll see you all here next week.
Daredevil is blind. That means he can't see, and that's hilarious.